Hello summoners and welcome to the top 5 duo queue strategies and bot lanes in the current meta. Recent changes and events have made the bot lane role go through somewhat of an identity crisis where the marksmen and the traditional AD carries have been favored out and pushed out for more traditional bruisers and mages going in the bot lane. Many people have had trouble adjusting to this new meta and understanding what you could be playing in the bottom lane with your friends, or with your duo queue partner, or teaming up to win some ranked games, so today we're going to help you out. Let's get into the list of the top 5 new bot lane duos. Starting off on our list, it is Misfortune and Fiddlesticks. Now, Misfortune is a great AD carry at the moment because she's a fantastic lane bully, she does a lot of damage, and she doesn't need that long to scale, and because the games are so quick, your 1 to 2 item lethality items and Black Cleaver make you really strong comparative to all the other bot laners. Fiddlesticks is a support that has risen up recently a lot. Over the last 10 patches, every single patch he gets more and more popular, and he's even seen a lot of success in competitive play. Both of these champions obviously have great synergy within their ultis as well. Fiddlesticks starts off with the ulti, gets a huge silence, big fear. Misfortune also channels her ulti, and the enemy team just dies. Good laning phase, good mid game, and good teamfight synergy late game makes this duo really hard to beat. Plus, a nice little bonus is that both of the champions individually are really easy to play, so if you are in the lower ranks, we definitely recommend checking out this bot lane. For Misfortune runes, the best way to go will be Arcane Comet, however if they do have a lot of tanks, Conqueror is not bad as well. The damage and poke that you get in the laning phase from Comet feels really nice, and Summon Ares not bad either, and if you do need to kill tanks like we said, you can try out Conqueror, but to pick an overall rune page, Arcane Comet is probably your best bet. For the Fiddlesticks, Aftershock has become the new meta. Summon Ares not bad either on him, but we've seen a lot of pro players popping up using Aftershock because it's such an easy way to proc it. You can simply fear them immediately and then you get really tanky with the Aftershock. Next up on our list, let's talk about Yasuo and Lux. Before this meta, neither of these champions were thought to be great bot laners, however, both of them have popped up individually, and as a tag team, they're great. The poke that Lux gets makes up for the fact that Yasuo does not have any range, so if you are playing against a traditional AD carry or a mage bot lane in the bot lane role, it makes it quite a bit easier to deal with them. Obviously together they have great all-in synergy where the Lux can hit the binding and Yasuo can all-in. If Yasuo is the one to hit them with the knockup, Lux can easily follow up while he holds them in the air with his ultimate. Throughout the entire course of the game, they're pretty effective together. Runes for Yasuo, it's the same that you would run in every other lane. Having the bone plating in the resolve secondary makes it so you don't die instantly, especially because you're really squishy early on. On top of that, Conqueror is just the best keystone to run on him. You don't need fleet footwork or press the attack. Having Conqueror just makes you deal so much more damage. For Lux, because you will be supporting, it's much better to run Summon Aerie as opposed to just Comet. This is because you'll be putting some points into your shield and you'll have a really big shield by using Summon Aerie. On top of that, you're going to be auto attacking for your Spell Thieves anyway, so being able to auto attack to get the Spell Thieves proc and to proc Aerie is really nice. The next bot lane we'll be covering is probably the one that does the most damage on this list, and that is Draven and Brand. Both of these champs are known to stuff the damage charts and always top them, and that's because Draven has great all-in potential with his Conqueror, as well as Brand has great poke, really good sustain damage, and a lot of burst as well. So the reason that these guys do so much damage together is because you're putting them together and they have great all-in. If Brand is able to hit even one stun or Draven's able to slow with his E, it allows for a lot of guaranteed harass and poke and probably an all-in as well, and what makes them so great together is that even if you get engaged on, sometimes you just overpower them early game with enough damage that it doesn't really matter what happens because you're going to kill them in a 2v2 anyway. And in reality, that's exactly what a Draven lane wants. He wants to be able to all-in and have a kill lane, that way he's allowed to get his stacks and he's allowed to farm up and snowball. For the runes that Draven will want to take, Conqueror has been pretty standard ever since it's been released. He struggled in the early parts of the season not knowing which keystone would be the best, but even though you're a ranged champion, you still take Conqueror on him because you don't need more than 4 seconds to kill people. The amount of damage you put out with this and the true damage you get is definitely unmatched and is the best by far. For Brand, it's your choice between Comet, Aerie, and Electrocute. I personally prefer Aerie, and statistically speaking, Aerie is better, but the other two do have merit as well. Also, you want to take Biscuits, that way you have enough mana to constantly harass and stay in lane, because you're so strong in lane, you just want to stay in lane as much as possible. From the most damage to the most tanky, let's talk about our next bot lane, which is Mordekaiser and Blitz. Both of these champions will be going the relic shield, that way they have a lot of sustain together, as well as the fact that they're very tanky due to both speccing heavily into the resolve tree. Blitz will provide enough CC that way Mordekaiser can stand there and get all of his damage off, and because they have double relic shield, they have great pushing potential, and even though they're melee, it's really easy for them to get ahead, and of course if Blitzcrank ever hits the hook, they can easily kill you. Because of the nature of Blitzcrank's ultimate, and for the fact that it has a very low cooldown, you should consider Zeke's Convergence as a good pickup, especially when running this bot lane. For Blitzcrank, Aftershock will be the best take once you knock them up or you hit them with the hook. It allows you to get a lot of tankiness, and overall that's much more effective than any damage that you would get from something like Electrocute. However, in this lane specifically, I don't think it's 100% necessary to go Aftershock, and you could try Unsealed Spellbook on Blitzcrank. This is because it gives yourself more playmaking potential as well as a teleport, so if your Mordekaiser is going to take teleport, then you can too. For Mordekaiser bot lane, it's been decided that Guardian is the best, and I absolutely agree. It's not just the shielding that you get, but also the movement speed is super important for Mordekaiser, allowing yourself to get in range and not die. In the third row, Revitalize is a rune that you will want to take. The amount of shielding and healing in this lane is massive, so taking this together you'll get a lot of value. Last up on our list, and saving the best for last, is Lucian Nami. For this bot lane, they are a terror to play against, and statistically speaking, they are the best bot lane in the game when paired up. Nami and Lucian are both huge lane bullies together, and because Lucian has become the best AD carry on this patch due to the Essence Reaver, Blade of the Ruined King, and Black Cleaver build, this means that together they are unstoppable and very hard to kill. Lucian will look to build a Blade of the Ruined King first item, so not only does he get a lot of sustain and lifesteal from that, but the amount of sustain he gets from his Nami as well as the damage she puts out from Ebb and Flow is really hard to beat. If Nami hits one bubble or Lucian gets one good trade using his Q and his passive, the lane is going to be over and you'll have to concede a lot of farm. Even with the Enchanter item nerfs, Nami was not directly nerfed. On top of that, she can now just rush Athenes and do even more healing. For runes on Lucian, he probably uses Press the Attack the best on any traditional marksman, and the great thing is that because Nami does damage in the early parts of the game, the Press the Attack will increase her damage as well. Because people are playing low range threats and nobody's really playing Caitlyn anymore, it means that Lucian is not outranged and he can duel almost any of the other bot laners that you're going to put him up against. For Nami's runes, Summon Airy and Scorch will mean your early damage is insane. I'm sure you've seen something similar on Soraka as well. The Resolve Tree secondary is just so you don't die instantly, but if you don't feel like you need it or you're really experienced in the matchup, you could take Inspiration secondary, grabbing yourself Biscuits and Boots. This list was just 5 of our favorite bot lanes, but of course, as always, let us know in the comment section down below, not only what you thought of our list, but what you would have included on your list. Let us know what bot lanes you see being very successful in your games, and let us know what bot lanes you've been playing with your friends. This has been the Mobalytics Top 5 Bot Lane Duos. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials and you check out the product at mobalytics.gg. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, leave a like and subscribe.